Hello there and welcome back. This is race 2 then from Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit for the BTCC Replica Championship from the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by upshiftstore.co.uk. So as I say, Brands Hatch is race 2. It's a great cracking race 1 for these boys. Team Pertec coming out on top there. They're on the front row again here. So let's have a look at that grid. So yeah, Molson, this is finishing positions from race 1. So Molson in pole position. We've got Dan Bailey second, Vexman third, Team Silver in fourth, Lee Whip in fifth, Stealth sixth, Hodgie in seventh, C Broad in eighth, Seamus ninth, Firepower in 10th, Prime in 11th, Prime Machine in 11th, Jimbo in 12th, Sideways George in 13th, and Potsy in 14th. So another mix of tyres, of course. And it was actually Potsy that we lost in race 1, wasn't it? I couldn't remember who it was, but it was Potsy. I don't think he even got going. It was very early. He just sort of disappeared. So I'm not sure what happened there. But anyway, that's that. Let's see how they get on this one. Sun's out now down there in Kent. Capacity crowd watching on. Revs are up now. We should be off any second. Oh, and there's a full start for Molson, isn't it? There's all a full start. What's happened now? There are full starts and Stealth. Well, thanks very much. I'll have it if you're not going to go, boys. So a full start from the Pertec boys. That's a bad start from them. So a little mistake. I think Molson started it off and then Dan kind of copied him and a couple of others did, I think, as well. But Hodgie's got himself to second. Stealth, meanwhile, was thought, yeah, I'll have it. I'll have it indeed. You boys, if you want to muck up, then fine. So Hodgie is second. Then it's the Team Pertec boys. Dan in third with Molson fourth. And actually, I think we've got a safety car. Yeah, they've all slowed down. So we have got a safety car in race 2. So this is a new addition, actually, to the championship. If there's an incident in the start of the race, safety car can be called. Just to get them all back on strong. It looks like they're all back in the train. Just need to get a little bit closer, I think. The ones at the back, must have been a bit of an incident back there. That was the reason for the safety car call. So Stealth will be in charge when it's all good to go, and they'll be all watching Stealth to see when he goes for it, and I think he's gone for it now. Looks like he has. He did. So here we go again. Race is back on. Green flag is waving, and Dan having a look up the inside of Hodgie. Well, there was a bit of a gap there, but Hodgie said no, I'm having that. So keep away, Dan. Hodgie then. He wants to try and follow Stealth if he can, and Molson goes wide there in the background, loses a spot to Lee. Lee comes through in fourth in the Beetle, and then Team Silver goes wide out on the dirt, does a bit of grass cutting, and he's dropping down to 8. Vex is through, Firepower's through. So yeah, he's made a little mistake there. So Firepower then, he's got through to 6th, chasing down Molson. Vexman in 7th, after his 3rd place in race 1. So is he going to be back on it again? I don't know who was in that incident at the start, because I was looking at the front, obviously. Team Silver then, 8th place. Then we've got Prime Machine in 9th. So we're all good to go. Don't realise any more incidents. Oh, and just as I say that, Prime, don't know what happened there. Just a bit too much power, I think. And someone else has gone off. Was that Sideways George? Someone's gone flying off. So that's Prime Machine gone through Sideways. No, there he is. I'm not sure who that was. Possibly Jim Bob. Yeah, I think it was Jim Bob. Someone went flying through. That was 2 off then, so that was unfortunate. So Sideways in 13th. So Prime's out of it now, so he's gone. So not sure why that was. Perhaps it was such a heavy impact. He had to go back to the garage. But up front we have Dan Bailey, who's taken up the lead. Hodgie made a little bit of a mistake there, because he was temporarily in the lead there for a second, but made a mistake. Dan's taken advantage of it, and Lee has followed him through. So Lee looks like he fancies it in the Beetle here in race 2, doesn't he? Hodgie back to 4th, so yeah, made a little mistake there. I think he lost a couple of spots. Molson has got himself back up to 3rd, gathered his thoughts. And Dan, no, looking hungry up front. Now, could it be a Team Pertec win here again in race 2? We're only 3 minutes in, so a long way to go yet. But Dan Bailey then in 1st place. Lee Whip looking strong, even though he's sliding it round. Molson just lost the place to Hodgie. Hodgie up to 3rd. think Molson didn't get a great exit out of that bend, and he's a bit all over the place again. I think he might be on those mediums. Let's have a look. He is, yeah. Thought he might be. Doesn't look quite as settled and as stable as he was in race 1 on those super softs, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge for him. And then we've got Stealth in 5th. So after leading it for a little while and leading it from a safety car, back down to 5th for Stealth. So he got beat up a little bit there, I think, and dropped back down to there. Now he's under pressure from Vexman in 6th place. Firepower 7th, is looking a bit more like Firepower there. Trying to get on the back of these two. Vexman looking strong again. He's on the mediums as well with Vexman and Firepower. So a few of them, he's on mediums too, so a few on the mediums. And behind here we got Potsy. We didn't see him race 1, didn't we? But he's under pressure, or he's putting the pressure on, I should say, on the Team Silver in the GTR. So Potsy is going to have a look up the inside, but he's not far enough up there, is he? Well, he's certainly looking for it, but it wasn't really. And someone's gone off there, flying off in the background. Who was that? Didn't catch him, but someone's gone off big time, big style. Didn't see it. Stealth makes a little mistake as well, runs wide. I don't know who that was, but someone was well in the gravel there at Paddock Hill Bend. That means that Lee Whip has taken up the lead in the Beetle then. And it's all going on here in race 2. We've had safety cars, we've had offs. We have people playing in the sand. And we're only 5 minutes in. It's a third of the way through. So anything can happen here, I think. Odgie back to 2nd, so he's having a terrific race this time, is Odgie. After a bit of an isolation in race 1. He's having a nice battle with the boys here in race 2. And also fighting for that lead. So Hodgie, he's on the super softs. Looking good there behind Lee. So we'll keep an eye on this one for him, because Lee just goes a bit wide, or it might just be the line he takes. Hodgie looks quick in that. That's the Martin. Because that Beetle is no slouch. But he's not far enough up there to take the lead. And there, so still Lee 1st, Odgie 2nd, then we've got Molson 3rd. So he's just kind of trying to make his move, is it? He's just sort of sitting there waiting, biding his time. Vexman and Stealth find out. Vexman's got through actually, so he's up to full flare, he's got past Stealth. So now Vexman, what can he do? Can he get himself up onto the podium place again? They're not that far ahead of him, is he? Are they? So he can certainly got the time to get onto the back of them. Stealth will be thinking the same thing. I'll just stick with Vex, see what can happen here. And the Firepower, he'd been hassled by Potsy. Potsy did get past Team Silver then. Oh, and Stealth went off and the dirt was flying. But Potsy putting that pressure on Firepower, and Team Silver still there as well. So the GTR is in a Mercedes sandwich at the minute. He is the fill-in. Oh, and Firepower again, runs wide. Really pushing that car, isn't he, Firepower? Potsy in 7th. Good to see Potsy. So hopefully he can complete this race. Runs a bit wide there though, and Team Silver's going to attack him now. He's not going to go around the outside, or he can, but he's going to be on the outside here at Paddock Hill Bend, and that's not the place to be. So just has to slot back in behind Potsy. Good racing now as they head up to this Druids. What can they do? Because Team Silver got the... No, it's not far enough up. So Team Silver and Potsy still 7th and 8th. Got Seabroad there. Had a bit of a quiet race in race 1, and looks like he's having another quietish race here in race 2. There in 9th place. And Dan, it was Dan. It must have been Dan that went off in the Paddock Hill Bend, because he was leading it, wasn't he? So Dan Bailey is all the way back to 10th. So disaster for him. I see someone off playing with the sand, and I didn't see who it was, and it was Dan. Behind them, Seabroad now under pressure from sideways, and he must have made a mistake as well, Seabroad. Sideways, flying past him now. So it's Seabroad and Seamus, the two Porsche teammates, in 11th and 12th, and then Jim Bob at the back there with a small penalty that he's just getting off. So Jim Bob not having the best race here in race 2. But it's all going off here, isn't it? Cracking race. Sideways, we didn't see a lot of in race 1 either, did we? Because we see him had the mistake, and then he was kind of stranded at the back. But he's in the mix here in 10th. Oh, and he runs wide as I say, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, I think. So every time I open it, someone makes a mistake and he's going to drop to the back. And twice now, he's made a mistake and he's dropped right to the back of the pack, and it's unfortunate. However, back up top, and we have a new leader, and it's Hodgie. He did make that pass, and he did get past and through. So Hodgie then with Molson. And actually, it was Lee, wasn't it? So Lee's made a mistake now. So everyone who's out in the lead has made a mistake and has dropped back because the Beetle was there, wasn't he? And he's down in 5th now. So Hodgie then, he won't care about that. So with 9 minutes left, or 9 minutes gone, I should say, 5 minutes left, could this be victory for Hodgie in race 2? We will see. He's looked pretty comfortable up to this point, hasn't he? Looked like he fancied it. If he can stay there, be maximum points for him for race 2. Molson under pressure from Vex. Still in 2nd, Molson, but really being hounded now by Vexman in 3rd. It's quick that Audi, doesn't it? But McLaren is quick too. We've got Stealth in 4th. That'd be a good result for Stealth if he can stay there in 4th place. So Stealth 4th. Potsy in 5th, so got through. Got himself to 5th place. Then Lee, who made a mistake obviously somewhere. Again, didn't catch it, but Potsy runs wide there, ahead of him. Made a mistake, was out in front, wasn't he? Lee, so he'd be cursing himself, so he's back to 6th, so not a complete disaster, but from where he was, he'd be feeling it is. And then we've got the 2 teammates, Team Silver, Firepower, 7th and 8th, and then a bit of a gap back to Dan Bailey there, who's being handed now by Seamus. I don't think Dan's got over that off, has he? Whether he's got a mechanical failure somewhere. He's just hasn't managed to get his head back in the game since then, really. That 9th for him at the moment then. Seamus in 10th. That's a difficult bend, that one. You really got to try and cut the corner as much as you can now. Don't want to get your left wheels on the grass because that will take you out and you'll be a goner. Seabroad, and has just succumbed to him. He's had an off, had a penalty, and unfortunately there's not really anybody around, but maybe dropped a couple of spots there from where he was, or a spot perhaps. 11th place for Seabroad then. Find it a little bit difficult so far, but it's the first race, isn't it? Everyone's still trying to get used to their cars. Jim Bob in 12th. On Sideways in 13th, runs a bit wide again to Sideways, and yeah, I think he not liking his track particularly, not tonight anyway. 2 offs, and and now Jim Bob's gone off as well, so actually Sideways does get that place back. Jim Bob just ran off the track at the bottom of the hill, and Sideways took that place off him. Back up top there, Hodgie looking really, really good coming into these last couple of minutes here at Brands Hatch. Hodgie then, Molson still 2nd. He's got away from Vexman now. Looks like he's putting the pressure on Hodgie a little bit now, doesn't he, Molson? He's pulled away from Vexman in 3rd. So let's just stick with this and see if Molson, because we're coming to the end anyway, he's gonna get 2nd race victory off of Hodgie. not going to give it to him. But Molson seems to have pulled the pin a little bit here at the end of this race. Just about getting used to those medium tyres now, but it's come a little bit late. But still in with a shot here to take victory. He'll certainly get another podium. Should do his points no harm at all. Oh, and just something to let you know about as well. And Hodgie's gone off, and I'll talk to you that. I'll tell you that in a minute. Molson takes up the lead. Hodgie, he's dropped a couple of places, 4th now. Oh my goodness me! Every time the leader, and there we go again. Every time the leader gets out in front, and they make a mistake, and Hodgie back to 5th. Oh, unlucky. So Molson then could get 2 out of 2 here. Looks like he is. He's going to just about to start the last lap. He's going to get one more in. Here's Molson. Vexer's been promoted up to 2nd. He's going to get another one in as well. Stealth in 3rd. Excellent. So actually, a few of them are going to get another lap in actually. Still got 15 odd seconds left. So anyway, what I was going to say was the championship now is an 8-round championship instead of the usual 6. So extra couple of rounds been thrown in now. Now that the COVID guidelines have been opened up, we're allowed to visit some additional places, hence why we've got those 2 extra rounds. So here we are then on the final lap, and looks like we're going to get Molson with 2 out of 2 for Team Pertec and for himself. So driver points and team points. So he heads up now to the final right-hander through Clearways. So congratulations, there's a yellow flag somewhere, I'm not sure what that's about, but let's see the leader come over anyway. So Molson, 2 out of 2, Vexman, great 2nd place for Vexman. Stealth, excellent 3rd place. Hodgie 4th, just holding off Potsy in 5th. Down in 6th in the end, so actually not too bad. And then these 3 battling it out. Who was that? Firepower, Lee, Seamus. Oh my goodness. And then Seabroad coming round for 10th. We've got Jim Bob, who's finished in 11th. Team Silver and Sideways George. So that was a hectic race, wasn't it, in that 2nd race? So join me again for race 3 soon, and I'll see you then.